Hello, everyone, and welcome to Seaview Quantum Network. I'm your presenter, Daniel, and I'm here with producer Claudia Pareca. We are cosmic beings, beings of light. A single moment of your time is one of the most extraordinary gifts we could ever be given. We are honored every time that we receive one of those moments. We are honored, overjoyed, privileged, and humbled. We serve in your presence. Our shows are held on Mondays and Fridays at 12 p.m. Eastern U.S. time, 9 a.m. Pacific. At any moment, to participate on one of our shows, please call 805-830-8344 and press 1 to talk with the host. All podcasts are easily found in all social media and are available free, live, or on demand. To request a show, please write to Claudia Pareco, cview1111@gmail.com, or visit our website, cview1111.net.
Call for free at 805-830-8344 and wait in line or use Take My Call. And for $11, you can jump the long list of callers. Do so at www.paypal.me/PURECO/11, and then please PM or email Claudia Pareco with the phone number you'll call the show at cview1111@gmail.com.
Now, let's listen to our host and topic of the day.
Thank you, everybody, and welcome to Seaview 2021 Light and Energy with Psychic Mediums, Ed Carlton, and today's guest, Katelyn Lee. We are going through a big shift ever since we passed the last full moon, and we also had we have many other planets influencing a lot of shift, a lot of change. And if you are a sensitive or an intuitive, you are actually feeling it in your body. But we are so grateful for the opportunity to bring psychic mediums and Ed and Katelyn to the show, because they are here to assist you. They are here to give you hope, to give you enlightenment, to give you certainty of many of your questions, your doubts, or things that you are not very sure about. So remember that to contact Ed, you can go to his website, mediumed.com. In there, you're going to find another members of his team, like Katelyn Lee, who's going to be here with us on today's show. And there are many ways that you can contact Ed and have a reading. You can see him now. We are going back in person in many places, and also over the phone or any way that you like to connect, Zoom, whatever way you need, Ed will be there. We were talking also about maybe getting a gift certificate for someone you love. You can do that at psychicmediumed.com. If after the reading today you are so grateful with either one of them, psychics today, you can go to Psychic Medium Ed, and there's a button there for donation. So let's bring Ed and Katelyn, because they always have very pertinent information for the beginning of the show, and then we're going to start taking callers. Hey, Ed. Hey, Ed, Katelyn, how are you?
Hi, Claudia. How are you?
We are doing very well over here. What about you?
Oh, we're great over here.
Yeah, we're doing really well. So we're doing this together, so we're excited. We always enjoy working together, and so it's an exciting time in our lives, you know, with the energy and everything else. So I think we're looking forward to this, this radio show, being able to help others. And I want to do a special thank you, Katelyn, for volunteering her time to help us with this.
It's my pleasure. I enjoy doing things like this, and and the people on the show, they always have great questions. It's always fun to answer them. We have a lot of fun. Yay!
And have you found, Katelyn and Ed, that many times while you're answering questions for others, you find like, Katelyn, that's for me, and not for the, as well. Like they do those questions that sometimes you don't do yourself, but you get the answers for those.
Absolutely. And we talk about that quite often. Spirit guides people to us, when you have that urge or that, you see our names keep popping up. This is where we say Spirit is guiding you to, schedule an appointment. And, it's for your help and assistance. But I think, a good teacher always, learns from their students, and, a good reader learns from their readings. And so there's always questions that come up, and it can pertain to us as well. And just like even this reading, if we're reading somebody, it's important to listen to, because you might find that there's a message in there for you as well.
Mm-hmm. I think as readers too, it's incredibly hard to read yourself. So I like to think that Spirit brings us people that we're able to get answers from, because when you're so close to something such as yourself, it's really hard to get that objective psychic insight. So it's best served through a client or someone else that you are reading.
Thank you. Well said. So are you guys ready for today's show? Are you ready for callers? Is there anything else that you want to leave us before we start?
No, I think we're ready to go. I think we're itching. We're excited.
So, as always, we're going to start with people that are using Take My Call, and also for those that are celebrating their birthday. So, let's go with Mary. She's here, and I know she's as excited as we are to be today on this show. Mary, welcome.
Thank you.
Hi, Mary. Welcome.
Hi, Ed. I'm so excited to be with you. I did get to ask you a question last month when you were on, and I want to follow up on that. In 1983, I started a relationship with a man, and we were together. I ended the relationship. You may remember some of this. I ended the relationship about 10 years ago to be with another man. And in the last couple years, I have discovered that I truly love man, and it's my mission to be united with him again. He began a relationship with a woman last July 2020, and they've been hot and heavy, but just in the last little while, things have kind of shifted with them a little bit. And you said to me last month that they're really not compatible, and that he's trying to figure out what's going on with their relationship. I need, I guess, a follow-up on that if I can get more clarification on what's going on with them. And I think you did say that he and I eventually will be together again. I would like to know more about that. I need to know if he's really wanting to be with this woman, or what's going to happen with them, and I don't know, whatever you can see with this.
Okay. So I think one of the reasons you are so attracted to him is his personality and his ethics and his morals. And so I think this gentleman, is trying to make his relationship work. But we always try and make our relationship work, and sometimes even if we're trying, we realize that it is not working out. And I think he is in that part of his relationship, trying to, if he leaves this relationship, he can say, I've tried everything that I possibly can, and I feel comfortable leaving this. And this is where he's at. He's in the stages of his relationship, just trying to close chapters, close doors, and make sure this is the right thing for him and for this other person. So, you have to give him space for this, and then it involves into you. I think there is a connection with you, a very strong connection, and I think it will continue to be that way, especially when both relationships kind of start to fizzle out. Yeah.
Because this relationship that he has with the other woman, for me, I like that you identify that it started very hot and heavy, because I agree, and it's going to fizzle out in the same capacity. There doesn't feel like much longevity for me in this relationship, and I do feel it just doing that.
It's already started. I can tell it's already started, that process.
And I agree with Ed that he starts to move closer to you, but I will be honest, for me there feels a little resistance on his end, and it is because his pride is at play as well. He feels rejected by you. So I'm just letting you know the resistance that he is experiencing on his end when it comes back to the, I want to say, reconciliation, but I do feel the connection between the two of you, and there is a lot of love. It almost feels like we come into a new chapter of the love. However, you have to let divine timing play its role. This isn't something that you want to meddle in or force. You have to let it play out naturally as it will.
If you meddle with it, it can really kind of mess it up. And I think you and I have talked about what Katelyn just said, building that trust and that understanding of why your relationship ended, so he knows and he can start to learn and trust you in that capacity. And I think we've talked about that before. I'm not sure.
So for me, this situation will have great foundational support on a level of vulnerability, because, again, there needs to be that level of trust that right now he feels uneasy with.
Are he and I going to be together? It feels like next year maybe. I don't know how long it's going to take to play out with this woman, but are he and I going to be together again?
I do feel like you are going to be together.
I do too.
It's just a matter of timing, a matter of not only his situation, but your situation as well. And so I think right now, you're a little, sometimes our patience can be very hard. And I think right now it's difficult because you have to see everything play out. Yep. And you want to start this new life that you feel or you see. And you're ready, but timing is not ready. And that's where Katelyn says that divine timing is everything. Mm-hmm. So you have to be a little bit patient.
Patient is the greatest spiritual teacher. And I know personally that when divine timing is at play and patience is at play as well, that tells me that there are more lessons for me to learn before the reconciliation happens. So while you're in this waiting period, use this as a time to really learn what's come at play, because that's what's going to help you with the vulnerability and that foundational growth for the next chapter of this love.
Okay, so I'm willing. I mean, I feel to be patient for a year. It just feels like it's going to be a year, and that's okay. I'm not chomping at the bit for it to happen immediately. There's a lot of things I need to that needs to happen for me in my growth.
Absolutely, and that's what you can control. That's what you can focus on, is your growth, and so that way you will be ready, and less about whether he's ready, because he's got his own growth. So this is the time for you to say, okay, what do I need to do for myself so I can feel ready and fully ready to embrace this when this happens.
100%. I explain to people all the time. We ask Spirit, will we be together in a year? And Spirit responds, what is a year? Because time is human understanding. What Spirit does understand is is the energy of lessons learned. Learn the lessons. Spirit will understand that.
Okay. So, but both of y'all, both of you do feel that he and I will be together again.
Yes.
Correct.
Okay, and this relationship is going to end with this woman.
That's what it feels like to me, yeah.
I agree. Completely agree.
Well, what else do I need to know about this situation?
I honestly think you know everything that you really need to know, and this is where, I think taking a step back from it and trying to close the chapters and deal with what you are dealing with, because you are dealing with a lot, will help you move forward. Okay?
Okay.
But you're good. Don't worry so much.
There's a lot of things I need to plan for my future, and it would just be good to know that I am going to be with him again. And if I can really trust that,
Always plan for your own future, and when somebody comes involved, then they are an accessory to your life that's already been fulfilled. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
It was wonderful talking to you.
Thank you, Mary.
Thank you both so much.
You have a very blessed day.
And thank you, Mary. Okay, so now we're going to go with Birthday Girl. Let's go see where you got us up all the way down here. Okay, Karen, welcome to CView. How can we help?
Hey, Ed. Good to speak with you again. And Katelyn, nice to meet you. My middle name is Lee also. I might have, I might have a specific question, but in all honesty, I want to wait. I am just curious what an overall birthday message might be for me, from my guides or spirit, or maybe even from my mom. I'm going to be 52 this afternoon, and these last few years, heck, even this past week, it's just been a lot of personal growth, spiritual learning, karma clearing, and I'm just looking forward. I always look forward to my birthday and the opportunities of the coming year, but I just wanted to leave it open to start and see what might come my way as a message.
Okay. Wonderful. So I know this year has been a lot of ups and downs and a lot of growth for you, and so the energy has been super fast and super slow, so to speak, so it's kind of been very ebb and flow. And just when you get your bearings, it changes for you as well. And it's happened for a lot of us. And so you've been on a waiting period for quite a while, but you can see already in 2021 that this year has already started to progress for you very quickly, and so this is where you're starting to see your own drive and your own passion come back to life and even grow. So this is going to be a very, I'm going to say, successful year of abundance for you.
Which I absolutely agree with. And when I connect to Spirit to receive a message from you, it is this idea, learn how to celebrate yourself and learn how to celebrate your accomplishments and how far you've come, even the hard aspects of life. I think that you'll really notice for yourself, you've stepped into a role of your own intuition, your own emotional growth. And from there is where this drive of new passions is coming from.
I completely agree. So before I go any further, Karen, I'm going to put you on the spot for just a second, okay?
Okay.
You send out a monthly newsletter, and I found this one very fascinating. And when it's your birthday, but 528, you had mentioned, is some sort of an energy portal. Is that correct?
It's a healing frequency, the 528 hertz of frequency. Yeah. It is.
And
it's
that is kind of right around the throat chakra, isn't it? The third chakra and the third eye.
Yeah. Well, it is divine love, which you'd think it would be the heart, but I do believe you're right. It is closer to the throat.
Yeah, because 432 is the heart. So recognize that this year is, number one, it's your year. To me, it's like a golden year for you because your birthday is on this portal or healing frequency, and this is where your main chakra really emanates. Mm-hmm. You have a very powerful throat chakra, and you already know this, and you are fine-tuning your own craft or your own abilities as you speak and speak through others and speak to others. It really kind of enhances this year. So it's an exciting year. You speak through that love energy. And so I think this year is going to, I think this may be an energy frequency, but I think this is the year that you're going to run that frequency very strongly.
I agree. And also keep in mind to use that throat chakra to speak on your own achievements, your own celebrations. You have a lot within you that other people can learn from. So using your throat chakra, of course, to get that message out for the sense of, for what it feels like me, a sense of deeper spiritual community.
Oh, great. Mm-hmm. Bible.
Yes.
Thank you. And you know, Ed, the last time I spoke with you was about something happening with my jaw and my teeth, and it's been a whirlwind, and it seemed like every door closed after I saw like 6 different professionals, and I finally opened my eyes and realized, oh my gosh, there was another option. And so that's where I'm going, because my heart resonates with that. And then looking at those doors closing is me learning the patience of not just jumping into something and seeing why a door might be closing. And so I'm happy to hear that this is the year of my speaking my truth. It means that all of this is going to work itself out, which I'm very grateful for. Is there anything?
I'm so sorry. I was just going to say that this is the year you learn to open your own doors.
Love it.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything specific from my mom by any chance? Do you need a name or anything?
For me, if you don't mind saying your mother's name, just so I can invite the energy in with us.
Sure. First name's Laura. Laura. Her remarried name was Pope, Laura Pope. But
Laura. When I invite the energy into the room with us, the first thing that she does is speak of how proud she is of you. And I say that just because I am flooded with just admiration for you, which is a message in itself. I'm very, very proud of you.
And I agree with that. Your mother, and please don't take anything I say personally or offensively, your mother always made herself smaller. Your mother was a very powerful person, but she'd rather stay in the role of, domesticated or not putting herself in a public light.
Behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes.
She was the best behind
nurturer, supporter, like that role of the supporting role.
And I love that we're talking about that, because as we talk about that, the visual I get in my head is you on the stage as your mother shines the spotlight on you.
I agree.
You're going to make me cry.
Oh my God, I'm going to cry because I'm an empath. So if you cry, I start crying. So just know that your mother is still behind the scenes for you, shining that light as you really learn to step into it. Use your voice for the audience, and she already is so proud of you because you are doing things that she herself was too afraid to do, if I'm being honest.
Or couldn't even imagine.
Yeah.
And so this is where I agree. And I'm glad you picked up the stage thing too, because I know Karen. I've read with Karen, so that's pretty good. Wouldn't you say?
Yes, very much so.
Karen belongs on stage.
Yay!
happy
Thank you
birthday.
so much.
Happy birthday.
Thank you so much. It means a lot. Love to connect with you guys. Thank you. And thank you, Claudia.
You're welcome. Okay, so now we're going to go up to Kimberly in Georgia, and thank you for using Take My Call.
Hi, Kimberly.
Hi, how are you?
Wonderful. How are you?
I'm great.
So what can we do for you today, my friend?
Well, I would like messages from anyone that's on the other side that would like to give me any messages.
Okay, let's see. All right, so let's see. Immediately, we're going to go with the, let's see, let's invite this. So you have a male that is on the other side. Let's see. This male feels...
in the heart and the throat, with an emphasis onto the head as well.
I agree. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense to you?
You said
did you hear?
The throat. I would what you said. I don't know. I guess I would need more information.
Okay. I don't know if we got disconnected. So you do have a male around you, and there is, like Katelyn said, there's a little bit of, usually when we get emphasis or symptoms, it's usually kind of how somebody passes or had symptoms of, in their life. And so there's a bit of heaviness in the heart area. And I think this can be very also an emotional attachment too. I feel like it's more emotional.
100%. This person was uncomfortable speaking up emotionally, so I know that they were more love in action than love in words.
Yeah, and this feels like a.
It's starting to feel paternal for me.
I agree. So
this is not your father. It would be in relation to that paternal side.
It would be in relation to what?
That paternal side, a grandfather, or...
It could be my grandfather, because I knew him from afar. I think I only met him when I was 4. But from what I remember, he was kind and gentle.
And he's passed quite a while ago. Is that also correct?
Yeah, it's been a while, yes.
And even when you guys... so even when you're passing it geographically, you were there was a little bit of distance geographically as well. Is that also correct?
Yes, absolutely.
So even though there is this distance or this feeling of distance, whether the longevity that he's been gone for a while, and even the distance geographically, he wants you to know that there's still a very strong bond with the two of you, and that you are yourself working on this energy.
Yes. Yes.
Kimberly, are you having, do you have relationship questions for us?
I do not. My focus has been on career. I do not. Mm-mm.
Because he starts to focus in on love for me as well, and the conversation changes to love.
I agree.
Yeah.
He
probably wants me to get out there and open myself to that, but that has not been my focus. And one time in my life it was, but I realized I had to work on me.
I love that.
To draw the right person, because I believe in the law of attraction, and I believe in loving myself first, because I was in a codependent relationship. So that has not been my focus. My focus has been on building myself up spiritually and loving myself so I can attract the right partner.
I love that. But when you're doing this, also understand that this heaviness that he has felt in his heart, you don't want to, just because you don't feel you are in this right place, don't close the door on opportunities that are coming your way, because he almost gives me the impression that you are saying, okay, I want a relationship, but not now. And so I'm not even going to look. I'm going to close this door. And it's never a good idea to close the door. You don't need to search for a relationship, but be open if one approaches you. Okay?
100%. And I am going to take it a little bit further and say our human mind tells us that we can be closed off to one thing, but not the others. But what I know energetically is if you're closed off to love, that does create a barrier when it comes to us being fully open for career opportunities, especially if you are looking for a career opportunity that fires your sense of passion. That is still a love energy. So if we're closing that off at our heart for love, we're still going to close that sense of passion and love when it comes to our career as well. So that's why I'm just bringing this up.
It can make you finding the career or the job that you are looking for become very harder or more difficult.
No, I truly understand. But the question was posed to me as, am I thinking about relationships? I'm open, but that has not been my focus. So I understand everything you're saying. I'm not closed off.
Okay.
But, I mean, what I'm saying is there are no questions about relationships right now because that hasn't been on my mind. I'm definitely not closed off. I just know I have to deal with me first in order to attract the right person.
I love that. I think that's wonderful. And I think you're getting that confirmation from him because whether you're not looking for it, I think it's coming your way.
100%.
Okay.
100%, which is why he's going to start talking about it.
And that's why his energy is so strong about this. You know, it's like it's coming your way whether you are ready or not, so to speak.
And it's a blessing from his grandfather, right?
That's right.
Yes.
Good. So Kimberly, let us know when Mr. Right comes your way.
All right.
Absolutely.
I will. Thank you.
Thank you. It was wonderful talking to you.
Same here. Bye-bye.
Okay, so now we're going to go with Miranda. She called from New York.
Hello. Thank you so much for taking my call.
Hi, Miranda. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you. I'm open to whatever messages you get from me, from Spirit, from beyond.
First, can I talk about your energy?
Mm-hmm. It's very abundant.
I love your energy.
It's very soothing, calming. It's very abundant. Your energy immediately makes my crown go off. So I know you yourself are very intuitive. You are very connected to the divine source. I would not be surprised if you tell me you have magical, lucid dreams happen at night.
You work very well with the angel energy, and I think that's why both of us because a lot of angels have that energy of inspiration, and you inspire people. You naturally are lift people up. They can come to you, and you can give them the courage. You're like the cheerleader of people that just really get them motivated, and I love it.
Isn't it funny how the thing we do so well for others, we have a hard time doing for ourselves?
Yes. Oh, so true. Well, thank you for yes. I am on the path of spiritual ascension and want to help others. So I think that you're picking up that. But yeah, I'm just hoping for some insight on anything that I should be aware of, any messages.
I think this is where, when your energy goes this strong, this is part of your message, okay? Mm-hmm. This is, you are on this path. This is something that you should be doing because you have this, what we call a natural energy or natural ability to help and inspire. And in emotional connections, deeply emotional connections, helping people to, as you are doing your ascension, your own growth, recognize what you are doing, even journal what you are doing, because you're going to help others with their own growth. And so what you are doing, think of it as research.
You know, and love of self really keeps popping up, Dean, whether you are, you know, for me, I explained that the path to spirituality and the path to self-love is one and the same. But I'm going to take it a step further and say that you really inspire and help people to love themselves fully, and I think that is really beautiful.
Yeah. So remember that is your energy, and most of the time when we have this energy, it almost becomes a passion or a drive for you. You have a need or a want to help people or inspire people, and this is where your life is kind of feels like it is changed or turned, you know, in this direction. You've always had it, but it's become very strong lately, you know, and
especially when now it feels like considering a career change or a career move that is natural and favored for you at this point.
Yeah, that's the thing. I haven't worked in a while, and I'm looking for a volunteer position, and you know, strongly researching it, and so that's my way of giving back.
When you research that, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. When we research that, make sure you are doing one-on-ones, you know, whether you have, you know, personal contact, because that's where you can do the best and inspire the most. So make sure that there's a lot of heart in there when you're doing any volunteer work.
I agree with that. That's what I know about me. I prefer one-on-one. Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. Great.
You have a great future. Keep going.
Oh, thank you. I was just hoping I would get some message from Spirit regarding family. I'm just waiting for things. but this is good. Thank you. Thank you both so much.
Thank you, Miranda. Okay, so now we were in New York. We're going to go all the way south to Florida, and let's bring Linda to the show.
Hello. How are you guys
Linda,
today?
how are you?
Not too bad. So my question would be for you guys is, we currently rent a home, and we're going to try to purchase it. Is this something that is going to work out for us, or is this not in the cards? What do you see?
We're actually kind of pointing at each other.
Yeah. There is a reason why this is not in the cards for you right now.
It doesn't feel as wonderful as I'd like for it to feel.
For me, I say that it doesn't feel in alignment. When it doesn't feel in alignment, that tells me that it's not a no, it's just not a right now. Is this something that you're trying to force, and if given more time, more financial security, would it allow you to have an easier process in the future?
Could be. We're actually waiting for some funding from family to bring aboard to help us finish up the deal. But that's really like pulling hairs and teeth or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And this goes along with that.
Yeah.
This goes along with what, you know, it's making the process a lot more difficult, and, you know, it can be a magical experience, or like she said, you might be forcing it a little too much, and it's going to take that excitement or that magic away. And it does feel like it just slow it down a little bit and allow it to come to you. You're trying too hard.
And I will even say that the house that I feel coming, you're so in love with it.
Yeah, I don't feel like it's this house. I feel like you're going to find a better house, believe it or not. Mm-hmm. And this is everything that you kind of want or you're happy with, but I do feel like
so forward.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. So basically you're trying to say is, so the money from family is really not going to pan out, pretty much.
I would agree.
Yeah.
Okay.
And instead of getting so upset at everybody, understand that this might be happening on a higher level for you to find something better.
Mm-hmm. To really create that sense of home is what it feels like.
it kind of, in some way, that kind of adds a little bit of stress in the fact that we're kind of helping out our son and his wife, and it's like trying to find out a home that actually accommodates everybody for the right price, you know.
Yeah.
So that's where my added stress comes into play. So.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. So I don't know if those are going to continue living with us, or is it something that they're going to just do things on their own?
I actually think this is why the first home isn't working out, actually.
I kind of agree with that.
Because this, my initial verbiage I want to use is forces them. But I understand as a mother you may be uncomfortable with this. But this inspires them to get their own place.
Okay.
So I think that's why it's actually not working out with this home.
Okay. All right. So hopefully they'll get their act together and move along, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll be nice.
Thank you, Linda.
All right. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
And thank you, Lynn. Don't you guys feel like if this was going to happen for her, I just feel aggravation coming everywhere with the family, with the family giving them the money, with the family they are living with. Like, I just see a big word, aggravation. Like, it's going to be a nightmare more than a blessing if she pursues this.
I agree. And I have a 14-year-old son, so, I think sometimes, and mine's much younger, but sometimes it's hard to detach and say, okay, now it's time for you to spread your own wings. And so her theme is she should start simplifying her own life and thinking about the life that she wants. Her child is an adult now and needs to start making his own decisions, and it will make her life much easier.
Thank you, guys. So now let's go to Ohio, and let's bring, I believe it's Shelton. Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing good. Hope you guys
are you really?
Well. No, not really.
I know. So what can we do for you?
I guess I would just like to, I'm open to whatever Spirit wants to share with me. Hopefully some good news happening this year.
Could you say that one more time? We're having a hard time hearing you clearly.
I'm just open to whatever Spirit wants to share with me.
Okay, so immediately, to put you on the spot, I could tell you were saying you were doing good, and I could tell you were either trying to convince yourself more than anybody else that you're having a little bit of difficult time in your life right now, feeling stuck in a lot of situations and not sure where to go or what direction to go in.
It actually resonates with me as disappointment for some reason. I just feel disappointed.
Did you expect your life to be more?
Or a relationship to be more?
Yes. I expected my life to be more. I think that's for me, yeah. And there has been a relationship that I knew that wasn't going to work out, but it still brings sadness, I guess, because that ended recently, and it feels like I don't know what to do next, even though I know that wasn't the best thing for me.
I agree with you. You've made the best decision 100%, and I very rarely say 100% because there's always a factor of ifs or questions, but definitely. I think you're changing your energy and recognizing which people are no longer on your service and helping yourself or your higher self. And so it was not the best relationship for you. You weren't feeling, and so you've involved almost every part of your life into this, and now this is not it's gone now, and so now you're almost like the beginning, going, okay, now I'm not sure which direction. I'm not sure. A lot of times in relationships, we become so involved that we lose ourselves. Mm-hmm. And it feels like you've lost a lot of your own self and your own identity, for lack of better words. And I think this is where you're like, okay, who am I, and what do I want, and what do I want to be when I grow up? And this is a perfect time for you to really sit with yourself and say, okay, what am I not happy with, and how can I change this? And it usually starts with ourselves.
Mm-hmm. This is actually a really great place for you to be. I know a lot of people question when we experience a lot of pain or disappointment, are we on the right path? Am I supposed to be here? And for you right now, the answer is yes, because this experience that you are having right now is what's going to catapult you into the next chapter of your life, where you no longer feel as you wish that you had more or done more. Things looked
you were settling.
Yeah,
you were
100%.
Settling, and this uncomfortable feeling or this feeling of woe, if you didn't have it, mm-hmm. you would stay there and you would settle. So this makes you change. This makes you shift. And so as mm-hmm. much as we don't like this feeling, it is the best motivator sometimes, as long as we can get ourselves out of the lull of the energy.
So I try to avoid giving time frames, because I understand that free will plays such a role in timing. But within 6 months from now, you are going to be in a completely different place, where you actually find gratitude for what you've just experienced.
I agree. Mm-hmm. Did you just recently move too?
No, but I really want to move, and that's one thing.
Because it's coming in. That's why I asked you, because when she said, you're going to be in a different space, and I think she was talking headspace, mm-hmm. I'm saying geographically too.
Okay. That's really good.
So you're going to have a lot of changes, and these changes are going to be very good, but sometimes changes can be very uncomfortable or unsettling. So right now, recognize that this is giving you the momentum to almost change your entire life, and that's what you really kind of need. And mm-hmm. It feels really good after this lull that you have. Okay,
do you have a child?
No, I don't.
Then what?
I don't have a child. No.
So that is energetically coming up for me as well. I do believe that.
A human child.
What?
A human child or like a creative child?
It feels like a human child for me.
Okay.
So again, 6 months is going to be completely different.
Completely different. And you're going to look back going, thank gosh.
Yeah.
Thank gosh I ended this relationship. I'm in such a better place, and didn't realize how much this relationship was holding me back. Okay?
Okay.
Do not get involved in a relationship too quickly, okay?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I noticed I have that tendency. Yeah, I won't.
Okay. Because it's good for you to stay and heal yourself, because this will allow you to grow and have a long, healthy relationship. Mm-hmm. Lose the baggage, mm-hmm. so to speak. Okay?
Yeah, thank you.
I know this sounds a little lowly. I'm using the word low a lot for some reason. But I wish you could feel what I'm feeling, because I'm really excited about your future. I'm really excited. Mm-hmm. Once you get past this couple of months, you're going to really be in so much of a better place, okay?
And thank you, Katelyn, for calling. Okay, so now we're moving on. And I probably think we're going to have time for one or maybe two more callers. So, you guys, we have someone whose name starts with a T. with a J, with an A, or with a W? Who do you want to take?
The W.
So, Wendy, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you
Hi,
very
Wendy.
much. Thank you. So nice of you to take my call, and nice to meet you. I have an iPad that I bought from Apple. It's called a mini iPad, and I love it, but I've misplaced it, and I searched everywhere yesterday. Am I going to get my iPad back? Will I find it?
Is it in your car?
It's where?
I said, is it in your car?
I actually do not own a car.
Okay, then it's not in your car. I do think that you will get it back, but for me it feels outside of the house. That's why I asked if it was in your car. You might have left it somewhere.
Okay, well,
I would definitely take like she said, I would go back and to places that you have, yesterday or before, and go back to each place. Don't call, but go back to each place and ask them if they have found it.
Right. I actually have not left the house since I last used it. I used it earlier this week, but I'm thinking it could be in the living room or my bedroom, and so realistically, I think it's just been misplaced. It's got to be here.
Wendy, have you had someone come to your house?
No, but that's a good question.
Okay, because I agree with Katelyn. It's outside of your house, and maybe it's someone that came to your house because it feels outside of your house. So just make memory and think of who could that person be.
Will I get it back, do you think? When?
I do feel like you are going to get it back. So just really go back and recheck your steps, whether you took the trash out, whether you did any of that, and really anytime you stepped out, because it does feel like, I do agree with Claudia and Katelyn, I do feel like it is outside the house, so I do feel like you're going to get it back.
Okay. Well, thank you all very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you for calling.
welcome.
Okay, we actually have time for one more. Okay, so now let's see. We have an A, we have a J, and we have a T.
J.
That's what I was going to say. You must be psychic.
Okay. Jessica, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. I was wondering, so this girl had purchased some stuff from me a couple of years ago, and it ended with her having like a hissy fit. It was never like a one-on-one session, but it was just like something triggered her, and she was like sending me mean emails, and she was kind of crazy. And now it is like 9 years later, and she's been purchasing from me again, but she's also had several hissy fits along the way. And I'm just wondering what to do about this energy, because in one way I was just like sort of accepting, okay, whatever, she's learning from me, but just wondering what you're picking up around it, or like what I should do, because in a way I feel like I don't want to be associated with her at all.
I agree with you.
So I'll leave it at that. Go ahead.
I agree with you. Unfortunately, I don't think she is learning from you. I think she's projecting onto you her own issues, the thing that she doesn't want to hear, you bring up and, or purchase, and this is what's causing her own inner self to have that conflict. She's reaching out for conflict.
Yeah.
Because she doesn't want to look inside and fix what's going on inside. So the more you have interaction with her, the more you are entangling in her energy. And I will tell you, and I'm saying this as a cautionary warning, and I don't use warning a lot, but the more you are involved in this, the more you are going to be hurt or in a position that you are not going to want to be in.
For me, the energy needs, or the connection needs to be severed, because this energy is spilling in how you do work with other people, and that's how it truly is affecting you.
Yeah,
so I don't have an interaction with her. She just purchases stuff off my website.
It's an energy exchange, though.
It is an energy exchange. You don't have to communicate with her, because she's still siphoning a lot of your energy. And what I mean by that is, you don't need to be in the same space. You don't need to talk to somebody. There's different ways of connecting energy cords, and she's siphoning your energy. It's overwhelming you. There are times when you can't stop thinking about it. There's times when you start worrying about it. And all that, if you put all that energy into a bucket, you've just given it all that energy to her. That's what she feeds off of.
And this is a really good opportunity for you to stand up for yourself.
So I just email her and say no more, or I do this energetically to get her rid of her?
Well, I'm kind of I try to energetically clean something up, and then if that doesn't work, if there's still some sort of attachment, an emotional attachment like this, then you have to say, okay, we have not had very good success, and so I think you might need to go somewhere else, to purchase. And unfortunately, I've had to do that myself.
Okay, because it just came. I knew the energy was familiar, and it just came to my awareness when I was looking over past receipts from years ago that I was like, oh yeah, it is the same girl. So, okay, interesting, because I just had this in real life, a guy who just came back into my life, or tried to, that I told him to get lost. He's been trying to wave at me at the park again, and I've already been there, done that with him. I don't want to deal with his energy anymore at all. It's so that seems to be the theme.
And that's actually wonderful. I'm going to stop you. I don't mean to cut you off, but that's actually wonderful, because you're recognizing the pattern. You're evolving and moving up in your own, what we call Dharma wheel. So you're getting ready to shift into a higher part of your own consciousness. And so when you do that, we start to self-sabotage ourselves. Our soul says, okay, are we ready for these challenges? And they bring people into our life so we can say, no, I'm moving forward, or I stay where I'm at. And this is where you are energetically. Are you ready to move forward, or are you ready to stay where you're at?
Yeah, that's why I was like, no, I've had enough with that guy. And then I noticed this, and I was like, nope, not anymore.
And that's your mantra. Hell yeah. And I'm not doing that.
That's awesome. Thank you. All right. So I'll do some energy work around this because I want her gone. Yeah, for sure.
I agree. And I'm going to do some energy work on you to kind of help you with that as well, okay?
Thank you, Ed. And thank you, Jessica. Well, we have reached the end of today's show. Is there anything, Ed, Katelyn, that you want to add before we say goodbye?
Well, we did, this week we did have the beginning of, we had an eclipse. So the beginning of this week we had what we call the season of the eclipse. So we're going to have another couple, and so the energy is going to be very intense. You might have found that the beginning before that was intense, and we're feeling pretty good now that we've had a little bit of a relief. But we're going to have patterns of ups and downs. So hang on. But it's always a wonderful time for starting stuff new. And Jessica was a perfect example and a perfect way of ending this. It's time to put the things that no longer serve us behind us. Time for us to own our convictions and our integrity. Our integrity is very important. And say, no, I don't need this in my life. I'm making a better life for myself. And that's what this energy is about. So let's harness it, own it, and let's move forward as a collective.
So well said.
Thank you. Thank you, both of you. And remember, everybody, psychicmediumed.com. You can find many services. You can find Katelyn there as well. And we thank you for being here today. And Ed is coming back the last Friday of every month. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Claudia.
Thank you. Have a wonderful weekend.
You too. Bye-bye.